What's good, everybody? I'm Johnny Danger.
I'm Jesse Wheeler.
And we are the Dangerous Dudes. Well,
Cheers.
It's time to cheers. 20 years. 20 years since the release of So I Drink by the Red Umbrella. And Jesse, you made the video for Kill the Kindness, did an outstanding job.
Just re-released the album. It had only been available on CD, 600 of which are still in my garage. So, to put it out on streaming was kind of fun, and to have it out there, just so it's there, and to go through a trip down memory lane making the video, having unearthed the live footage that we have of us. It was really fun. Also, like, sobering, because we look 20 years younger.
And
but
looks so much different in 20 years.
Also brought back memories of not only doing that live show at Ithaca College that we used for the footage in the video, but just like that band and that time in the area.
Sure.
For the music scene and for original music. It was definitely different than it is now, although I do feel at that point in time, original music in this area, especially original rock music, was pretty hot.
Sure. It was much different than it is now.
Eric Charles had done the two Search for the Southern Tier's Best Rock Band events 2 years in a row. Our band before the Red Umbrella Dynamite Smile had played in the second one, and those nights, it was 4 nights each year. It was 3 rounds, so 12 bands got picked? 12 bands got picked, 4 bands a night, and then a final night with 3. And those events drew over 1,000 people each night. It was an unbelievable thing to be a part of, and still the most people that we've ever played in front of.
Yeah.
From a live performance perspective.
Well, I think the Overground Festival, when we opened for Breaking Benjamin, there's probably more people
in the door,
but definitely not more people concentrated and like an active part of the show. Like, that was an experience like I'll never forget. It also occupied the front page of the Press and Sun Bulletin back when the newspaper was a viable thing. Not saying that it's not, but
printed
newspapers are just not what they were. And our name was all over the place, and in color, pictures spread out in the Good Times entertainment magazine that accompanied the Sunday paper. So it was a really exciting time. It was an honor to be included in that. I don't think we weren't in it the first year.
We weren't.
With this brand new band, Dynamite Smile, and we were just this garage band, just kind of getting started and writing our little songs, and we got invited. And, kind of like our MO is, well, if we're going to do something, we're going to fucking do it. So we were grizzly bears, and we practiced and rehearsed and got ourselves in shape enough to represent ourselves and our music well. And we had a really, really good night. And we came up against this juggernaut called Revel, and they eventually won the whole thing, deservedly so.
Oh yeah, without question.
And I just remember looking at them thinking, like, we've got really good songs. We're a good band. We got a bright future. But those dudes are rock stars, and especially their lead singer, Jake Marion. And that was kind of like the start of like a little man crush I had on him. And little did I know, those feelings were mutual. And that all came out at the Overground Festival when Breaking Benjamin came to town. And
that was August of
2004. And we met backstage, and he said, "Hey man, I really love your songs. I thought you guys were amazing at the contest. We should get together. Here's my phone number." And I was like, wow, And the timing of that was amazing because that ended up being Dynamite Smile's last show.
Right. And then basically we formed the Red Umbrella out of that. You know, we had played another show with Revel at the Haunt in Ithaca, but that mutual admiration kind of turned into a band, which was, you know, a really exciting thing. Because the Red Umbrella was together for such a short period of time, we often liken it to a fling. All of our other bands
romance,
have been longer periods of time together.
I think it was just as impactful, though, from the standpoint of what it did for us in terms of shifting the focus and the momentum from writing songs together to like collaborating with another really gifted and accomplished songwriter, and then having another voice. And then we brought in Brian, his former drummer, who was a fantastic drummer, but also played piano, guitar, and had a great voice as well. So then we had 3 vocals. Jake knew music theory, and it just kind of like was going from community college to university.
I think it taught us how to work like that. It was more than just hanging out, practicing, putting songs together, drinking beer. Like when we were preparing to record, we booked studio time. It was also my first time actually recording in a proper studio.
I believe mine too.
And I had been in studios before with my dad, but actually booking time and recording.
Right, where the clock is ticking and the money is.
And we knew that we booked for a weekend. Mm-hmm. We needed to record the album live. Leading up to that, we worked. It was like a job.
3 nights a week in what?
In winter. It was during my busy season Windsor. At work. We were practicing in Windsor.
Which is an hour and a half from my house.
You guys would show up at my house at like 9, you and Jake. I think you would drive to Owego, pick Jake up, drive to my house, and we would drive to Windsor, practice for a couple hours, drive home. Then you had to drive all the way back to Spencer.
Can you believe our wives at the time gave us shit for that? I don't know what their problem was.
What were they thinking? Come on.
Lighten up.
Young children. And
right. You look back at it, you know, but I always excuse it. Like, I never go on golfing trips or fishing trips. I don't buy, 4-wheelers. I don't do any of that shit. All I do is, play in a rock and roll band. But that's neither here nor there. Right, that's a story for another time. But thinking back on it now, like, if I tried to keep that schedule in this body, in this moment, I'd be in an institution.
I wouldn't be able to do it. It's one of those things that's...
We say that, and like you probably
youth
could.
Is for the young, or youth is wasted on the young. But like that type of schedule, in the right set of circumstances, I could do it for a period of time. But it would take a lot of convincing, a lot more convincing than we got the studio time.
Yeah, we're going to make a great album. That was the payoff, was that we're going to make this great album. But we did.
It was fun to remember we rented that house that we stayed at.
Oh,
we had
God.
such a good time. That was a great
Well, it was just amazing sort of team building, camaraderie, band bonding sort of experience watching like House of 1,000 Flying Daggers and like, getting food super late at Wegmans and like going out to breakfast at what used to be Mano's in Ithaca, and then just going to the studio and just bringing our lunch pail and going to work and just knowing that you had those songs down, like to where you almost couldn't make a mistake. You were so well rehearsed that once those lights went on, it was time to perform.
Some of those songs on the album were one take.
Yes.
Those are live. Obviously, we overdubbed vocals and
some guitars,
a
couple of keys here and there.
Most of like the crux of what's there on
no pitch correction on the vocals.
The songs
none
live, one take. By the way, that house was weird in the middle of nowhere. How did we even find that? Like, this is pre-Airbnb days where we just rented this house for a weekend.
That was...
Remember there was like a dude that was
Papa Muse.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was the Band and
random
Breakfast.
Person. Yes, Band and Breakfast.
That's the Band and Breakfast in like what, Newfield?
I don't remember. But there was a random dude that was in one of the other rooms that came out and watched the movie with us all night. And then then one night, like a man and a woman showed up and watched a movie with us. It's like totally like
Wasn't
now
Brian's girlfriend staying with us
yes,
too?
because they shared the room. There was like a loft in the room that I slept in, and they were in there.
Man.
Yeah, he's the one who had to bring the girlfriend.
But you know, I look back fondly on those times, and hearing the re-release, you know, on streaming now. You know, it's still sonically there. We have issues with the way that album was mixed overall, but the strength of the songs and the performances are there. There are some really great moments, and it's just important to have that legacy. It's important to me to have that legacy still live on, right? Like if you say, "Oh, we've got the CD," well, like, oh, by the way, there is a internet special I'd like to make available as of right now to any listener that emails the dangerous dudes at gmail.com. You are eligible for 10 free CDs.
Yes.
Um,
And actually, if you drop your address in the comments, I will mail you a CD on my dollar, as long as you promise to listen to it.
So yeah, what was it? Jake's like, no, we better order 1,000.
Yeah, I
better order
I was
1,000.
queuing up. I don't even remember.
We're gonna regret it later on if we don't just order 1,000.
So I was like,
You're
100
right,
CDs is like $2.99, and he's like, yeah, but
how do you
1,000.
remember this shit?
I don't know. I have a weird memory. I can't remember what I ate, 2 hours
But
ago.
you remember the CD ordering?
It was like $2.99
CD
for
Baby?
100. It might have been CD Baby
think it was
before
CD
they were
Baby.
into doing the streaming and the digital distribution. But he's like, yeah, but 1,000 is $8.99. It's only 89 cents. It's way less per unit. I'm like, but are we ever going to need 1,000? He's like, I think we will. And I'm like, you think so? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And then
That's the equivalent of like, going to Disney for 3 days is going to be $900. But if we go for 10 days, it's only going to be $3,600. It's like, well, yeah, but it's $3,600.
right? And the important thing about the CDs, it's not the money savings or the additional money. It's the fact that
It's the
it was
space that it takes up.
2005 and it's 2025, and I've been carrying around 600 CDs in boxes.
Well, the good news is that CDs are appreciating in value. You ever
True.
heard that? They're appreciating in value. So we should be able to, pretty soon we'll be able to charge $14.99 a CD again. Yeah.
Well, it's like vinyl. CDs coming back because Gen Z doesn't have CD players, and it's going to be like vinyl is to us. CDs are going to eventually be.
So
it's got a cool booklet and everything. It's got like fold out stuff.
Don't be surprised if you see coming soon to the online store new Dangerous Dudes t-shirts and So I Drink CDs from the Red Umbrella for $24.99 a piece.
Plus $8.99
for shipping. So
it's a bargain.
Stay tuned for that.
It's a bargain. Save your money.
That shit's funny. Yeah. All right. Well, we told a good story off camera, so you're just gonna have to wait for the outtakes, I guess.
So, we're talking about the magic of that night of the Battle of the Bands, because I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
We even before the show. So there was 4 bands. You wanted to be, at the time I thought the 3rd spot was the best spot. I found out later that Revel purposefully wanted to be in the fourth spot, but you didn't want to go 1st or 2nd, especially that night. There's so many details that are coming back to me right now. So Eric had us draw numbers out of a hat. First of all, Revel doesn't show up for the drawing. And Eric's like, well, if they don't show up, they have to go last. So that was Jake's plan the whole time. I'm not showing up until late, so we get to go last. And so I'm like, well, we need to go 3rd. And so I looked down in the hat and I noticed that the little piece of paper that he had written 3 on and folded up was opened, and I could see the 3. So I reached in and grabbed it, and that's how we end up in the 3rd spot, which was especially important that night because somebody backstage had tripped over a cable and unplugged the subwoofer. Audrey Stone was the 2nd band, another good local original act. And I was like, why does their sound sound
They had to
sounds
play
so thin.
a compromise
And
PA.
somebody went
Just an
backstage
accident,
and then
right?
realized, oh shit, like the subs were all unplugged for half the set. The first band was The Ride. Another funny story about them was Jake shows up backstage, and you can see this a short clip of it in the Kill 'Em with Kindness video. Jake liked to do Around the World, where he would swing the guitar
and spin his body
around his neck, like fast, and then catch it and
He'd
start
grab
playing.
it midair and spin. It was such a great move.
He was practicing
but
them
if you
back-
weren't watching out for it, like
you
you get a
take a
headstock
guitar
in
to
your
the
face.
head. He was practicing them backstage, and one of the guys from The Ride almost walked right into it. And there was like a little, Jake made some comment, and then they had to be separated. So there was some gamesmanship going
Jake
on
was
right out
not
the gate.
afraid to be like
And
unpopular.
I remember thinking,
or the
this
voice
guy
of
is
dissent.
a legitimate rock star.
He didn't give a shit.
And then the other two guys, Keegan and Seth, were like the kindest,
Yeah.
most awesome. One of my craziest nights of my life was with Keegan. Actually,
Keegan O'Neill, not our Keegan.
O'Neill.
Although we've had some crazy
Yeah.
nights with
Right.
Keegan too.
Two of the craziest nights of my life actually were with Keegan O'Neill. Those are stories for a different time.
Yeah,
For sure.
those are for the pay-per-view Dangerous Dudes.